We're going to move on to the TOSG students. There are four images. Some of them are shout out. Let me see what I have lined up over here. Okay, so this first one I'm going to talk about an interesting thought, and then I'm going to hand it over to Dinesh. Now, this is by Ethan, one of our students, and this is the third time he's making it to the final three. He won last week. He won the challenge for last week for the fan
Okay.
shot, which Summer and I judged, and Summer loved that picture and he gave his thoughts on it. Now, on this one, I thought that he's erred on only one thing. He's presented it like this. I thought it should have been like this. Why? Because the
Right.
vertical picture makes a difference. It divides the rice with the dish, and the chopsticks are then facing that way instead of facing at you. Because this looks like somebody else's dish, it's not your dish. They should
Yeah.
have been
Yeah.
facing
Yeah.
upwards. And this one looks nicer because even the stroke of the table and all that looks so much better. So I think this is a mention, and I thought this should be put up just to explain to people that it's the same shot, but you need to look at it in different ways. What do you think, Dinesh?
I know, just to add to what you said, Shantanu, it's
Yeah,
just, when you look at it this way
yeah,
now the same dish is looking inviting,
mm,
whereas in the other configuration, it was looking threatening.
right,
So
right,
just this one, counterclockwise, clockwise kind of spin
yeah,
has turned it into a friendly dish as opposed to something which is an alien dish. And it is maybe it even shot it like this, I don't know, but and turned it around the other way. And also, now
yeah,
the details of the leaf, the way the three
yeah,
leaves are just standing out so beautifully, it's so much nicer like that. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So that was Ethan. That was a special shout out, and especially we put it up so that we can explain this point of view.
One more point to
Yeah,
Ethan, since he's a student and he's a photography student.
yeah,
Uh, when you get into a food photograph, you should make sure that you're working with the kind of cuisine which you can actually make look attractive. The
mm,
problem with things like Chinese stroke Thai food is that the the vegetables have to be cut perfectly, and the
yeah,
sauces have to be drizzled in a very very perfect way.
mm,
Otherwise, it ends up looking a bit of a mess, which
mm,
I'm sorry to say, but that's what's happening as far as the dish at the bottom is concerned.
right.
And that is, kind of taking away from the appetite appeal to some extent.
Absolutely, absolutely right. So, okay, on to the next one. Another beautiful, simple one, but look at it. This is by one of our students, ex-students who passed out last year, Prashita Deshpande, and
Mm-hmm.
she lives in Bombay, and that's a shot. And yesterday, Dinesh had some very interesting points to make. So, Dinesh, I'm going to let you talk about it.
Yeah, this is poha is something which all of us in India are familiar with in different forms or the other. It's a breakfast dish with some variation in the other, in the south, in the west, in the north, but all of us know it. And the very choice of this dish in a way is appealing to my very elemental and very basic Indianness. So wonderful, great start right there.
Yeah,
Then as a photographer, what uh, she has done, right? She or he? She
yeah,
has
she,
done is
Prashita. Yeah,
is done,
yeah,
chosen the right kind of the whether it's the vessel, whether it's
mm,
the mat below it, whether it's the wooden spoon. So she's
yeah,
got the color palette perfectly right. It's nice and it's warm and it's glowing,
yeah,
and it's earthy. It's
yeah,
very fundamentally Indian and desi, which is great. Yet it's a very stylish shot. It the way she's placed and the way she's used three of the same is,
yes,
it's a lovely way to fill up the frame and use great, shallow depth of field to be
yep,
able to differentiate, yet make the entire dish more substantial as an
yep,
experience. So,
yep,
all this put together, it's a classical shot of a
yep,
very ordinary food, but done so beautifully, and that's how she's enhanced it as a food photographer.
yeah. So to add to that, that the rim that's lit up around the poha, it's almost like putting a bracket around it, and that's very
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
because the light coming from against from behind. So that's the
absolutely, yeah.
beauty in those three circles and the yellow color. And I like that little final touch of that mungfali Just those two of them and that little
Yeah,
green
yeah.
thing, which is a nice. It's not one of those dead black spotted leaves, so it's just nice,
Mm-hmm.
just a little touch that
Just
makes
a
it look
touch.
so
Yeah,
fresh. Yeah,
yeah.
that makes it look so fresh. So yeah, so I think all these things add to it, and so a special shout out to Prashita for that picture. And then moving on, two pictures. The next two pictures are by Zui, who's a current student in the 1 year course.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember she came to the college saying that she wants to be a food photographer. She's from Pune. She's in a lockdown right now in Pune, so she's shot these in Pune and sent it across.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is one of them. I'm just going to show you the second one, and we'll tell you which one is the winner. So these two are her pictures, which is great because amongst the top five, there were two of hers, which is superb. And
Yeah, which is fabulous, really. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, you have a word about this, or should we go to the next one?
Well, she's done a really fine job of the dish itself has been put together very attractively. The colors in there, the
Yep.
textures. It's a very soft lighting, nothing very dramatic, but yet it's pulled out all the textures of the various things which are there in the dish. I
Mm,
like the way she's very sparingly used the green and the yellow and the red of the lemon and the coriander and the onion to frame the main dish. And it's
right,
just a nice, softening with the shallow depth of field or whatever else is around, so
right.
that the eye kind of stays with, but yet has a sense of everything else which is there. The use of
Yeah,
that Bernie in the background, it's earthy,
just a
it's
touch, just a
yeah,
touch. Yeah,
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 and suggest that what kind of place or what kind of roots this dish has, which I think
yeah,
is always a very thoughtful thing to add such things into a food photograph.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, so out of all these pictures, I think the last one, that's this one is the winner. Finally, both of us had no argument or no this thing about it. We both said, "Man, this one." And Dinesh, over to you and to explain what
Well,
went right
the,
for
the
this one.
ultimate compliment any food photographer can give to a photograph or to another food photographer that I wish this was my photograph. And when
Ah,
I saw this, I said, I wish I had shot this myself.
yeah.
And I can't, and when you're judging a contest, my approach really is I first look for faults,
Hmm.
because that's probably an easy and a lazy way to start
Yes.
eliminating photographs which, might not make the cut. But what she's done here is a very delicate balance of colors and forms and textures, uh,
Right.
and very sparingly, and which is what I really like and I really respect. It's the use
Yeah.
of the color yellow to create that triangle.
Yeah.
Uh, with the yellow haldi ka doodh in the foreground, and then again to the right with that half cut cup in the background, and the very sensitive use of the right flowers, which has the
Yeah.
same the white and the yellow as the main dish does, so that really
Absolutely.
accentuates these the feeling of this photograph and that food, and the
Absolutely.
lighting is so perfect. It's just picking out the texture in the cup,
Hmm.
because it's
Hmm.
coming from the back and to the left, and throwing just a nice soft shadow on a very nice background. I love that blue in the back, which
Yep.
is, one doesn't normally expect. One would have thought, that she might want to use another shade of yellow or use
Yeah.
orange, but that blue is really helping it. Haldi ka
Stand
doodh
out.
normally
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
morning drink. That
Yes.
it's and the blue is really helping those few strands of saffron which you have on top of the yellow
Yeah.
liquid.
Yeah.
So it's wonderfully done. I mean, I could find a flaw in this in spite of looking really hard for one.
No, I think that saffron does the trick also because just think about it.
Yeah,
Without the saffron, it would have been flat. I think
it would
that's
have
a
been
master
it would
touch.
have been a dead drink.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That those four strands of saffron make such a big
Makes
difference.
all the difference. It makes a picture.
Yeah. Yep.
The
Absolutely.
few strands of saffron and those yellow dots in the white flowers
Yeah.
is what shows this is a sensitive photographer at work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Zui, great. I mean, was expecting something good from you, and this is great stuff. I mean, congratulations. There are two out of the five, and it was unanimously chosen that way. So we are happy to see you in the right direction, as you came in saying you wanted to do food, and I think you excelled in it. And Dinesh is saying he wished it was his picture. That's a huge, huge, huge compliment for you. I mean, you have seen Dinesh's pictures on our site and other places, and yeah, I mean,
No,
what
no,
else can I
absolutely. I mean
say?
that from the heart.
Yeah,
It's a photograph which I wish I'd taken, and I could say it's mine. It's
yeah.
just
So
perfect.
here it is once again.
Really interesting looking at all of it and thinking of what the thought process for each person was. And really hats off to the fact that this is being done obviously with elements and things which are available at home right now, and then
Yeah,
to be able to put together photographs which are really appealing and of professional quality.